Okay, this is the process for creating a smart starting view. This view that we're looking at right now is the original starting view, and it is sheet-based. There's just not a title block, traditional like 30 by 42 title block, but you can see that there's a drafting view that has some of our best practices kind of statically embedded in the template, um, but that's not really dynamic. So what we're going to do is start making a smart starting view. I'm going to start with a new project and start with a blank template. And we're in the US here, so we're going to do Imperial. And then when we're in the blank template, we're going to try to purge everything out. So removing all the families and groups. For me, right now, I'm just going to go up to Manage and then Purge Unused and check all and take it all out. Then what we're going to do is open up a floor plan view. And we're just going to start drawing. I talked about how to not make this look like a bulletin board. The title block that you saw before was kind of boring, so this is your chance to make something more artwork like. I'm doing all of this in Revit, but you can also do it in Photoshop and then just link in the image if you want to have some more graphic tools at your disposal. So here I'm just kind of at 10 times speed making some filled regions and text. It's really basic stuff for right now for this example, but this could be you celebrating somebody's achievement. Maybe they have some really good model performance metrics that you want to highlight. If you have a challenge going throughout the office, you can also share best practices. And then here's when I started to kind of think like, oh, this kind of looks like balloons, so I'm going to start drawing in some strings and just being as creative as I can be this morning. And then I thought that there should probably be someone holding it, so I just did a quick vector search, found a girl with balloons, and then in Photoshop I ended up cropping her balloons out and replacing them with my Revit balloons, making some final adjustments here. And like I said, it might be easier to do this in some other art drawing program to just kind of make all of your content there. But either way, just get it into Revit eventually and then crop the view down. And now we're pretty much ready to bring it over into the project file. So first, save this smart view in a location that's accessible to all of your projects. Here I have a dummy folder called Network Location Accessible to All Projects, and I save it. And then I'm going to go back over to my project file, and underneath my views, I have a section of reference views, and there is a floor plan in there that has some kind of like schedule information. I'm just going to duplicate that view. Doesn't really matter which view you start with. And then open up the visibility graphics. I usually use VG or VV. And then we're going to uncheck model categories and annotation categories. Later we're going to come back to imported categories. And then now we're going to come over here and actually link the Revit project into this project file, or link the smart view into the project file. So it's not going to maybe appear up at exactly where you want to be, but you go over to Revit links and then change it from by host view to by linked view, and make sure that you have the floor plan that you drew all your artwork selected. Okay, and if it doesn't immediately become apparent where everything is, just kind of uncrop the view and find it on your sheet there, and then recrop it. So find the old crop region by turning the visibility on and then stretching it to where your artwork's at. Now we're ready to place this onto our starting view sheet. So we just go down to our project browser. Here I've called mine Synchronize with Central. It's kind of a vestige of a best practice to always keep that, to always sync from the same view. And then here we're going to just place the view, find the right scale that everything works at. You could have figured this out ahead of time. I just kind of like to roll with it. All right, so I found my scale, and now it's on my sheet. And now whenever this Smart View gets updated, it will get updated in all of the link projects. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that now. we're going to save this project first. And I'm just showing right here that this can be anywhere. It doesn't have to be like right next to wherever you saved your Smart View. It can just be wherever your project folders are located. Okay, I think that's pretty clear now. All right, and this is just an example project that I did really quickly, so just give it a generic name. And as I mentioned earlier, now whenever we make changes to the smartview.rvt, right, so we should probably set the scale to be what we figured out it looked best at. We can start typing in new information here. Maybe you have an article you want to share, or a best practice you've developed, or an announcement for an upcoming training session. I like to kind of highlight the troubleshooting issues we've had. And now whenever we save that Revit file, that SmartView Revit file, and then open up our project, it'll display the correct starting view. Hope that's helpful.